Do you want the... Oh, yeah. Oh.
It is indeed minis, Richard. Thank you very much for that. Good to hear from our top three from that second MX5 Championship race. More from them later on this afternoon for their third and final one. But you enjoyed them yesterday. Now they're back for more today. It's the second race of two for the Mini 7 Racing Club this weekend. First for the Mini 7s and 7S category, which put on a fantastic display of racing, as Mini 7s always do. And of course, they're ready for more slipstreaming and sensational racing in the sunshine on this Easter Sunday morning here at Snetterton. The grid is partially reversed for this second race, so it's the same. It's taken from the result of race one yesterday, but partially reversed. So I think it's the top 6 that get reversed on this one, not the top 8. Because I think I can see just on 8th position on the grid there on the right-hand side, the orange car of Mike Jordan, who took yesterday's victory. So I believe it is the top 8 cars that are reversed for this second race of the weekend. So we'll give you the grid as they come up on the grid. So it's Graham Davis then who'll start on pole position for this second Mini 7 race. Joe Polly starts alongside him on the front row of the grid. And then Darren Thomas and Spencer Wanstall. So if you remember seeing that car at Silverstone, at one point it was barrel rolling out of the race. But thank you, Spencer. Put it on the front row yesterday and finished 5th yesterday in race 1. He starts 4th for race 2. Then Glenn Woodbridge. And then our top 3 from yesterday. Joe Thompson, who finished 3rd. Conor O'Brien starts 7th after finishing 2nd. And yesterday's race 1 winner and championship leader, Mike Jordan, will start in 8th. But it's Leon Window and Tina Cooper who round up the top 10 for the Mini 7s, followed by Julian Proctor and Paul Woodbridge. And then we have Johnny Kent and Jordan Sims, followed by Lee Roberts, who rounds out the 15 cars in the Mini 7 class. Then for the more entry-level 7S category, which is a slightly bigger contingent, they also have a top 8, which is reversed, I think. So they have Ben Seafried and Ryan Taylor on the front row of the grid for their for the Mini 7S cars, followed by Matthew Ayres and Matthew Page. And then we have Damien Harrington and Fraser Hack, and then Michael Winkworth, so it's the top 7 that's reversed. I apologise. And it's Michael Winkworth who starts in 7th place after he won yesterday's 7S category class. David Rees will start alongside him in 8th. As he should be, at least. Dave Rees is there alongside Lee Pullman. And it should be Dean Stanton and John Coburn Evans. Followed by Jeff Williams and Ollie Handley, who had a problem yesterday and pulled off at the end of the race. And then Ben Butler, Jonathan Page, and Chris Pryor to round up what should be, if all is present and correct, a total 32 car grid, or 31 car grid, I think we should have. So 31 minis in Mini 7 7S's combined in total here at Snetterton. So the cars are headed off onto their formation lap. We'll quickly recap you with what happened yesterday. It was mainly a 3-way fight for the win between eventual winner Mike Jordan, and then he was battling along with Conor O'Brien and Joe Thompson. And Joe was kind of biding his time a little bit, but managed to get himself in there and into the mix for the battle, and hopefully he'll be trying to get himself towards the front. And once again, from 6th on the grid, he had the advantage of starting geographically in front of the 2 men that he was battling for the win. As they went their way around onto the formation lap, and we put some warmth with those small little Dunlop tyres that they run. Of course, the City Championship is supported by both Dunlop tyres and Mini Spares. It's been called the Dunlop Mini 7 Championship, supported by Mini Spares. And for those who haven't seen these cars before, well, first of all, where have you been? Because these cars have been racing for more than over 60 years, or since the 60s. It's one of the longest running club champs that I can remember that's still going in its effectively original format. These cars started out, these cars have, the Mini 7s in fact, have a 998cc modified A-Series engine. They can go from 0 to 60, believe it or not, in 6.6 seconds, and that's just the Mini 7 cars. Wait for the meters, they're even quicker. Then we have top speed of these cars is 110 miles an hour, which must feel like 220, given it's the fact these cars are so small and diminutive, but they pack a real punch, and they are ones to watch out for. There is the 21 car going around, Jordan Sims, who should be starting back on the 7th row of the grid in 14th place. But they have a 4-speed manual gearbox. They run Dunlop tyres with the CR70s or CR65 treaded tyres on 10-inch alloys. You can pick a car up for anywhere between, on average, £9,000 to £14,000, and running costs for the season start from around £5,500. So it really is a brilliant and cost-effective but entertaining way of going racing. And you see drivers of the calibre of people like Mike Jordan and Conor O'Brien. Oops, one car decided he'd had enough, so he's off onto the road. I think that's possibly Leon Window, who had some bodywork damage yesterday, but whatever's wrong with Leon's car, he's quickly escaped down the escape road, which is just on the exit of Brandon Nelson. He's decided that it's a problem that means he may not be able to take the start. So cars then make their way around onto the formation lap. Should mention the 7S category, which is like an entry level for the Mini 7, so they have a slightly bigger engine, but they're a little bit heavier and a little bit slower in terms of top speed. They have a standard 1275cc A-Series engine with limited mods. These cars can still go from 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds and have about 105 miles an hour. They are about 30 kilograms heavier than a Mini 7 car, so a little bit weightier, a little bit more sort of standard trim, but they run the same tyres as the Mini 7 class. And in terms of cost, again, the costs come down to around about £6,000 to £9,000 on average for a car, and running costs go down to about another grand, from £4,500. So it's a great way to get into mini racing, particularly with the 7S category. And then when you're ready, feel confident enough, you're going to move up into the Mini 7 class. And then also, once you've done that, drivers like Jeff Smith have done, former BTCC racer, won the championship last year, and then has moved up into the Mini Media category, which we'll see later on. And they put on just as equally an entertaining race yesterday between the top 6 who were scrapping over victory. So the cars then make their way back towards the grid. Quick colour check, it is on pole position Graham Davis in the yellow Mini on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side alongside him in the blue and pink car is Joe Polly. Darren Thomas then will start just behind, I can't quite tell the colour on that one, but alongside in the grey car is Spencer Wanstall in car number 2. Glenn Woodbridge is in the blue car, just out of shot behind Joe Polly's car, just peeking out from the right-hand side. You've got the 3 cars that finished on the podium yesterday. It's white and red for Joe Thompson, the blue car for Conor O'Brien, and Mike Jordan in the bright orange car, number 88. So, stand by for some Easter Sunday action here with the Dunlop Mini 7 Championship and Mini 7S category, sponsored by Mini Spares. 20 minutes of mini racing coming up on the Snetterton 300 circuit. It's Davis and Polly on the front row of the grid. But what will Thompson, O'Brien and Jordan do from back on rows 3 and 4? Bit of creeping from Joe Polly. That might be a penalty for a false start as they get underway here at Snetterton. It's a slightly premature jump from Joe Polly. She's now on the inside line trying to make up space up towards turn 1 for the first time. It looks like it'll be Spencer Wanstall, who led at Silverstone. Turns into the right hand for the first time. They're practically 3 abreast turning through. And Conor O'Brien, with a lightning start from 7th on the grid, is already up to about 4th round the outside of the pole sitter. Meanwhile, here comes the cavalry. Here comes the 7S category. Bit of bumping and barging through the mid-pack as they charge up towards Ritchie's. And it's going to be 744. Ben Seaford will lead the way down towards turn 1. At least I think it was going to be, but it's the orange car in there too that I think is possibly Damien Harrington. There's Page and Pullman turning their way into the right-hander for the first time. Everyone appears to have got through cleanly, despite a little bit of fisticuffs in the mid-pack as they got off the line. So back to our 7S class. It's Spencer Wanstall who leads. Conor O'Brien's quickly up to 2nd place. It is 3rd place, I think, for Glenn Woodbridge. 4th place for our pole sitter, Graham Davis. And then 5th place, well, it was 5th place for Joe Thompson. He's now up the inside of the pole sitter Davis into 4th position. And also up to 6th now has gone Mike Jordan from the 4th row of the grid. So out of the complex they go. Wanstall now 3 wheels his way, as plenty of the minis do. Out of Williams into Oggies for the first time. Here comes our Mini 7S class. Lots of battles here. One car going wide. I think that's 703, which is Matthew Page getting a little bit wide there in 3rd place, but he holds on to the position. And come out of the Williams right-hander onto the Bentley straight for the first time at racing speeds. It is Wanstall who leads, but how much longer, because he's now under pressure from Conor O'Brien. He gets into the slipstream, darts out to the right-hand side, goes to his driver's right. Let's see if he can, as many have tended to do, sweep round the outside before they get into the braking zone, under the bridge into Brundle. Before they even turn in, he has his nose in front. Here comes Woodbridge up the inside for 2nd place, and Thompson fancies to go as well. So Spencer Wanstall might lose 3 places in 2 corners, gets a shove from Joe Thompson. Come on, Spencer, get on with it. And he actually loses out to both Graham Davis and also maybe Mike Jordan as well. As the rest of the 7 contingent go through, here comes the 7S category charging down the Bentley straight, and it's back into the lead. Goes the 2nd place winner for yesterday, Fraser Happ. He gets sideways on the exit through Brundle and Nelson, and now look at that charging up. Is that Michael Winkworth already? I think it is. Michael Winkworth, we're seeing no time at all up the inside of Fraser Happ, and already challenging for the lead. So he started back in 7th, he's into the lead already. Now, remember Michael Winkworth, if you watched yesterday, he stuttered away from the line. He couldn't get the car started properly. When he did, it took him about 9 minutes out of a 20-minute race to get to the front of the field, which is pretty sensational. So you can pedal one of these 7S cars pretty handily. So O'Brien leads the way at the end of lap 1 here in this 2nd Dunlop Mini 7 race, supported by Mini Spares. It's O'Brien who leads the way, Woodbridge in 2nd place, Wanstall in 3rd, but putting Woodbridge under pressure. Thompson in 4th place at the moment, then it's 5th place for Mike Jordan, yesterday's race winner and championship leader. And there's Joe Polly, who I suspect sadly might get a penalty for her slightly jump start. Meanwhile, almost 3 abreast of the lead in the 7S category. Where do you look with Mini 7s? But that's the whole point, because they are such good fun cars to watch and to race. They're really going at it this morning. Brilliant stuff. Back now to our Mini 7 cars, and you can see here that Conor O'Brien is absolutely flying out the front of the front. He's really got a gap of 1.8 seconds in the first lap alone. So Conor O'Brien doing his best now to try and escape up the road to try and get away from the chasing pack, because they're so busy battling amongst each other. This might well work to his advantage. Looks like Spencer Wanstall's got back to second place. There he is in the grey car number 2. As I said, good to see that. Good to see hit that car and Spencer out, because the last time I saw Spencer from Silverstone, he was in the lead of that second race, and he probably won't thank me for reminding people that he clipped the curb at Vale and it just tipped the car over into a barrel roll. Thankfully he was okay, and the roll cage was as sturdy and well built roll cage made sure that he was okay, and he was able to clamber out relatively unscathed, if not completely. But unfortunately couldn't say the same for the car, because either that's a spare car or, incredibly, that's been rebuilt since it last raced at Silverstone. So Conor O'Brien running up the road now. Not so much for Wanstall though. He's been caught by Woodbridge. He looks to the inside line for Brundle. It'll put him on the outside for Nelson, but it's not going to stop him, because you can pass around the outside in Mini 7s. They lock wheels, they get sideways, and off onto the grass goes Woodbridge. And somehow Spencer Wanstall still comes out of that on top. And then we see now, looks like, Wanstall comes out on top. Woodbridge gets shoved aside and loses places to both Thompson and to Mike Jordan. And he might lose another one to Pulsar to Graham Davis as well. Through Coram. There goes O'Brien, just running away with it. And now it's these 7 scrapping over second place. Wanstall checks them all up into Murray's. A little bit of contact there for Joe Thompson. Looks to the outside line. He's done tucked right under the rear bumper of the number 2 car. And here comes Mike Jordan, the wily old fox. He's plenty experienced. He's done plenty of racing in GTs. He's raced at Le Mans. He's raced in touring cars. He's done it all. And now he's enjoying himself in minis and showing his class and his experience. And here he comes. Looks to the outside in the orange car, number 88, with the SwiftTune engine. You can tell by the SwiftTune decal on the grille. Typically these cars have either drivers' names or the engine builder on the grille of these cars, so you'll be able to tell who's put them together. Thompson getting very late under brakes as he just absolutely scythed onto the rear end of Spencer Wanstall again. Back with our 7S category. Winkworth now leads. It's now second place for, looks like Fraser Hack. There's 703 Matthew Page. And the 784 car, I think the orange car which we're looking at that's been in that battle, I think is Taylor. So that will be Ryan Taylor, I think, in the orange car. Here's our battle for second in the 7 category. Look, also look for Jo Polly. She's looking up the inside to make a move on Graham Davis. There she goes. She's also trying to think about the move up the inside of Mike Jordan, for that matter. So doesn't quite make past it, but she's up to 5th. Of course, Jo Polly, who's the daughter of short oval racing legend George Polly. And good to see. So we lost Leon Window from that start of the race. He pulled off before the race even started, when he went up the service road just exiting Brundle and Nelson. So sadly he's not part of this race, but we've still got a 28 strong field in this grid. Sideways there on the lock stops for Spencer Wanstall as they turn out of Complex. Also, you see Glenn Woodbridge there has been shuffled back to about 7th or 8th position. He's now being chased down by the green car at the back of that group, and that's the 20 of Thomas, I think. So there's that Darren Thomas that's chasing after him. 20, yes, Darren Thomas, who started in 3rd place. Here comes Thompson up the inside, leading on the door Spencer Wanstall. They contact again for the 2nd time up at Nelson, so they haven't learnt their lesson from last time. Here comes Jordan up the inside line. Look at Jo Polly also in the blue and pink car. She's also trying to get in the mix 2 in 7th position. I haven't seen that she's going to get a penalty for a jump start. I hope she doesn't, but also you saw the car was creeping a little bit. But I'm not sure it gained her much of an advantage, because she did stumble away from the line at the front of the field, but she managed to get herself back up there in 5th place. Thompson goes back down the outside again, looking to make a move around the outside of Murray's. That one helped for track limits, that'll set off the sensors, but he gets a good run. And now he's side by side with Wanstall as Conor O'Brien continues to run away, sets a new fast lap of the race. And now with lights ablaze, Joe Thompson has a chance to get through for 2nd place, but he gets the push from Mike Jordan. He might just dart out and make it 3 abreast into Richie's corner. Here they come. Thompson's up to 2nd place. Up the 3rd look goes Mike Jordan. He turns in 3rd position. And now around the outside of Graham Davis goes Glenn Woodbridge. Also in there too, Darren Thomas in the green car as well. It is 7 of them for 2nd place. It might become 6 in a minute, because Joe Thompson, now he's broken away out of that pack, starts to try and get a bit of a gap between himself and Mike Jordan here. And the great thing is, we've still got 12 minutes to go. There's still plenty of time left in this race for all this to change around. Here's a scrap going on for 2nd, now for, I think, 2nd in the 7S category. Michael Winkler still leads it. It's now Fraser Hack in 2nd place, Taylor in 3rd, Matthew Page is 4th, and in 5th position at the moment is the 758. And that 758 car is of Matthew Ayres. So All sorts going on at this rate between both classes at the front of both their respective fields. It's Graham Davis, who starts on the reverse grid pole. And he's now under pressure from Darren Thomas, who grabs the gear and manages to put that car up the inside line, and that will be him moving up into about 7th position. Bit of a gap now forming between them. No gap here though, because you see Taylor also in there too, looks to be 7.58. That is Matthew Ayres up the inside of both Graham Hack and also Ryan Taylor. And he's now up into 2nd place in one move. So we started that lap at about 5th. He's up to 2nd now. So that's how quickly it can change. More battling behind them as well. Let's check and see who that was. That's gaggle of cars was behind Ayres. I think that's Butler, Seafried and Harrington back scrapping over what is currently 6th, 7th and 8th in the S category. Someone's kicked up some dust on the exit of Williams, which means there's a bit of a dust screen, just a bit of a dusty mist that's coming up just in the foreground. We're just coming up to half distance now in this 2nd Dunlop Mini 7 Championship race supported by Mini Spares. A change on here, I think, as Taylor looking up the inside of, looks like Matthew Ayres. Meanwhile, here's the 2nd place because Joe Thompson has been caught by Mike Jordan again. Spencer Wanstall has got back up into 4th place. He's now trying to go with them in the number 2 machine. So down the short straight, so not the short straight, it's down the straight, it's quite long, but Conor O'Brien continues to lap better than anyone else. The Simi seems to be his race to lose. He did a 2:25.4 last time. His lead gap is 7.3 seconds. As Mike Jordan thinks about a move for 2nd, up the inside he looks into the right-hander at Ritchie's, and through he goes. The championship leader is up into 2nd place. Now, he's got 9 3/4 minutes. The only way he's going to be able to really catch Conor O'Brien at all might be a combination of Conor making a mistake, or if, and this is a big if, Thompson, Jordan and Wanstall can all work together in the slipstream down the straights to try and possibly catch him up. It's a big task, but it's not totally impossible. Here's battle on for 2nd in the S category. Ryan Taylor goes round the outside of Fraser Hack. Also in there too. Watch out for, that's possibly I think Matthew Ayres. I think Jonathan Page is in there too somewhere in the 703 car. Here's our scrap for 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the Mini 7s. Jordan, Thompson and Wanstall all together. Still Glenn Woodbridge in 5th at the moment. He was scrapping, he was having quite a fight with Joe Polly. In fact, they're still going at it. Polly was having a look up the inside to try and get past Woodbridge, but I think Glenn had enough of his car in front to try and defend that one up towards the left-hander at Hamilton. So head out of Honkies again. This is on lap 5. You have so much fun in these cars, you don't realise that you're not doing that many laps number-wise, but it doesn't really matter because the racing is that good. It feels like, to these cars, a circuit like Snetterton feels like the Nürburgring. It's that long, but it's that sort of long a lap. You can do so much in a 2.5, 3 minute lap, which is pretty incredible. So there goes Conor O'Brien in the blue and pink car, glinting away in the sunshine. About to come through 2nd, 3rd and 4th, all together now. You can see the shiny chrome parts on the front of these cars shining away as they come up through the bomb hole again to end another lap. Once more, there's no change in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And I wonder possibly if Joe Thompson, he sat back a little bit in the first race. He was watching what was going on between Conor O'Brien and Mike Jordan for the duration. He managed to get his elbows out a little bit more in the 2nd race. He managed to kind of make some moves and pitch it up the inside and into a little bit of fisticuffs with Spencer Wanstall on the exit of Nelson. And with it back to our 7S category. Still, Michael Winkworth dominating the way as Conor O'Brien sets a new fast in that race, 2:24.494 in the 7s. This is now 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. So very similar situations in both, as now here goes up the inside the 784. So that there, of course, going up the inside is 784 Ryan Taylor. And they're still leaning on each other on each other's door handles. Fraser Hack holds it round the outside and says, "Excuse me, Ryan, I think I'll have my 2nd place back if you don't mind. If you want to get it, come get it the hard way." And so Ryan saying, you can see him there, he's actually signalling to Fraser Hack saying, "Look, let's not fight, let's go, let me push you, let's try and get away from these two." So he moves out. And so I think either they are starting to work together, or maybe Fraser Hack didn't get the memo. Because now they're under big pressure as they still go side by side again, the Ritchie's corner. Taylor takes the wide outside line. They're still being attacked by Ayres and Page here for 4th and 5th. So if there was it was a tactic to try and work together, it's not. Either signal hasn't got through, or they're just ignoring each other, because Hack goes back up the inside. They're still side by side on the exit because Taylor was side by side one car into the corner. He's side by side against somebody else on the exit because he's now got the 703 car of Matthew Page alongside him to his outside to try and steal third place away. There's Michael Winkworth. He's managed to pick himself past a couple of the slower Mini 7 class cars. That's how quick Michael is. Should also mention that Conor O'Brien is 7.8 seconds to the good out in front in the Mini 7 category. That's very un-Mini 7 like. Usually it's got a lot closer than that. It's all about momentum in these cars. You have to keep the momentum up even on these cars and circuits that have long straights and big braking zones. You really have to make sure that you just keep the car in the power band as much as possible and use all the road as much as possible as you go through the course. Now, change for second because no, sorry, that hasn't been changed for second, sorry. Mike Jordan has remained in second place, and Joe Thompson still following him. Still fourth place for Spencer Wong, still he's also biding his time. A bit further back in the battle in the 7 category, we've got Glenwood Bridge and Joe Polly. I think Joe Polly's just got past Glenwood Bridge because I saw a flash of a pink roof come through first, so I think Joe's got through to 5th, so that'll be a good move for her if she can get through. Checking the timing screen, there's any penalties? No mention of any penalties at all, so it looks like they've been quite gratuitous to Joe Polly, I think, but that's ever so slight creep at the front of the grid. As we see now, that's Fraser Hack who's pulled away now, so the signals trying to work together hasn't worked because Taylor's request has been quite vehemently ignored, so he's now being under threat once again now from Matthew Ayres and then Jonathan Page in there as well. He'll come up through Forum once again. There's Matthew Page and Matthew Ayres. There is Jonathan Page in the field, but he's a bit further back at 706. So 2 Matthews chasing after Ryan. Ayres and Page going through. Oh, is that Mike Jordan? Mike Jordan has stopped. So Mike Jordan is out of the race. That car looks like it's pulled up on the back straight. Oh, that's a shame for Mike Jordan if it is. I think it might not be. It's one of the orange minis. I wasn't sure if it was Mike or not. I might have misjudged that, so if I have, I apologise, but it is an orange mini that's stopped on the back straight. Now, who it is, let's see if something comes up on the timing screen. Who is it that's gone tumbling down the timing order? It might well be, again, forgive me, it might well be the number 10 of Julian Proctor, I think. Who started, yeah, Julian Proctor back in 11, so if it's, there's more than one orange car in the field, so it's not Ryan Taylor as far as I can see, and it's not, I don't think it's Mike Jordan, so because I think the chap that got out of the car doesn't look like Mike Jordan to me. So, yes, there he is. But they're still going through. So, forgive me, Mike Jordan fans, for scaring you for a second there. I think it possibly could be Julian Proctor is the one that stopped because his car's dropped 12 spots rather quickly down the timing screen. So, that's my presumption, my correction to my original presumption that it was Mike. He's still very much circulating. I think he's now just lost second place to Joe Thompson, I think. So, Joe's back up into second place now on this lap, but let's see if Mike can get him back. Here's our 7S battle for second place. Still Fraser Hack under threat from Ryan Taylor. You have Matthew Ayres and Matthew Page battling over 4th and 5th, but they're also in the mix here too. So Winkworth himself, looking where he is some 12 seconds up the road now to Fraser. This battle for second down to 6th. Someone else kicking up the dust on the exit as we come through. There is our 7S leader, Michael Winkworth, who was in good form at Silverstone. Back to his results at Silverstone, he picked up 2 wins and also a fast lap of the race as well. So he did quite a fine job to come into the weekend lead in the championship. Won the race yesterday, so far at the moment it's a perfect 100% record. Further battling here, that is the which that was, but going through there is Winkworth coming back into the complex again. Seeing the 7 towards the rear of that Mini 7 continuing to go past the box window. Here is the battle for second. Now, I think it's been a change for one of the cars behind because it looks like another 7S car's got into the mix here. Now, because they've got between Matthew Page and Matthew Ayres, and I think it might be, is it 711 of Damien Harrington? I think it might be Harrington, yes. So Damien Harrington, then, I think he's got past Matthew Page, I think. Let's check the timing screen. Yes, he has. So Damien Harrington up into 5th place now in the 7S category. Down to 6th has gone Matthew Page. three-wheeling their way through Richie's corner. They are a fine sight, aren't they, these Mini 7s? They are wonderful to watch. Big lock up here. This is Se7en. This is Dean Stanton, I think, who had some problems yesterday. He is having a good battle here with the 766, and that is Jeff Williams. So they are battling at the moment. So you see Conor O'Brien on the screen. That battle that was going on there, that was for 13th and 14th place. That was back in 23rd and 24th and 25th overall in the category. And I think the car that has stopped, yes, I think it is Julian Proctor at number 10. So again, my apologies again for scaring any White Jordan fans there, because he is definitely still going, and he's in 3rd place now. I was correct in seeing that he got through, he'd lost the position to Joe Thompson. Hasn't got back through just yet, at least not on camera. Still about 8 seconds. See them now, here they are. Right, he has got through again, so looks like White Jordan managed to switch his way back through past Thompson. Spencer Wansell's still there, and I suspect that he's playing the kind of role that Joe Thompson did yesterday. When it was Conor O'Brien and White Jordan battling over the lead, it was Joe Thompson that was sat there biding his time, keeping his powder dry, didn't quite make a move and had to hold on for 3rd place. This time, it's 2nd, 3rd and 4th as Conor O'Brien just gracefully swings the car through Murray's corner. Let's watch him here again to go through the left-hander. All on 3 wheels, naturally. Now down the pit straight. So they're going to have one more time around now onto the pit straight for the final time to start the last lap here at Snetterton for the Mini 7s. And Conor O'Brien's little gap now between himself and White Jordan has now gone out to, as they both set personal bests, has now gone out to 8.1 seconds. In fact, they're getting a bit closer now. Thompson actually retakes 2nd place, so he's got back past on the straight. He had the inside line for Richie's, and through he goes again. Now, Spencer Wansell, I said he was keeping his powder dry. Here he comes, because he was in the mix. Winkworth, meanwhile, is in blissful ignorance of what's going on behind for 2nd place. Here's what's going on behind, because we've got Fraser Hack, then that is Matthew Ayres, followed by Damien Harrington. He's on a real charge. He's got up to the back of Ryan Taylor. Taylor clips the curb, and Harrington just drives straight around the outside of him. So if you're going to clip the curb and just dawdle in front of him, I'll just pass you any day of the week. So Harrington back through again, takes another position. That now puts him up into, I think, 4th place now in the Mini 7S category. Yes, it does. So next target, if you can catch him, if you can get onto the podium, will be Matthew Ayres. But he's, at the moment, more preoccupied with battling over Fraser Hack for 2nd place. Crazy, Fraser Hack is a rookie, so you can see the yellow cross on the back there. So incredible stuff for Fraser to be this competitive one of these cars. Meanwhile, this is just behind the top 4. This is Glenn Woodbridge having a battle with Joe Polly, Darren Thomas, and also in there too, I think is probably a slower car, I think. Yellow machine there, but no, that was that was Thomas, wasn't it? That was the pole sitter from the first race. So Graham Davis, sorry, Graham Davis was the front runner. So I must learn more about Mini 7s, but I've been learning on the fly here, as everyone has, because it's been a wonderful day, weekend's racing so far for the Minis. Still got one more race to go, which is their sort of slightly more powerful brethren, the Mini Melias, sharing the group with the Mini Libras, as Conor O'Brien just gets the tail out a little bit on the exit run with Nelson. Now then, for 3rd place, well, Joe Thompson's away and gone in 2nd place now. For 3rd, it's not settled, because Mike Jordan in danger here of losing his perfect 100% podium record for the first couple of races. Once Spencer Wansell really took a lot of curb on the inside line, he might well get a chance to out-drag him on the sprint to the flag. But there's no chance anyone's out-dragging this man on the flag, because here comes Conor O'Brien onto the pit straight for the final time. And Jordan will get a little bit close to Joe Thompson. I think he might have to settle for 2nd place, or 3rd at least. And up to the checkered flag will come Conor O'Brien to take his first win of the season. It's checkered flag for Conor O'Brien. He takes victory here in race 2 at Snetterton. Checkered flag in the air for Conor. Now for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, it's going to be Joe Thompson in 2nd place, and just at the line, White Jordan takes 3rd. 4th for Spencer Wansell. And in the minute, and back behind them for 5th position, it's all kicked off on the final corner. Joe Polly had it, but now on the sprint to the line, it's going to be Glenn Woodbridge will take it back from her, and just as close as you like, it's going to be across the line. It will be, by the looks of it, Woodbridge, then Polly, then Thomas, then Davis at the line. So 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th, close as you like at the flag. And then in 9th place overall, ahead of Tina Cooper in one of the 7 class cars, is going to be Michael Winkworth, keeping up a 100% winning record. For 2nd down to 5th, they're still going at it as they come towards the final corner. It's going to be a perfect 100% record so far. 4 races in the 7S category, 4 wins for Michael Winkworth. Great work from him so far this year. Tina Cooper finishes 10th overall, and then quick as you like for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Hack, Ayre, Harris, Harrington and Page all across there. In fact, coming across the line. In fact, Taylor actually lost out at the end, so we lost Taylor somewhere in the end. somewhere on the last lap, so it was quite frantic in that back in the second. We've actually we've lost Ryan Taylor somewhere, so the orange car of Ryan has had a problem on the last lap, I'm afraid. He has not come through. So I'm not sure what happened, whether it was contact or a mechanical issue. Either way, that's a shame to see that Ryan Taylor, who was up there in that battle for so long, does not make the flag, or if he does, he's quite farther back. Here's our battle that we looked at earlier on, Dean Stanton. He locks up into the final corner. He's been enjoying a little private battle here with the 766 of Jeff Williams. They will come across the line to complete their race and their weekend in what looks to be 23rd and 24th places overall, and they will take 13th and 14th, no, 12th and 13th in the Se7en category, because of course we lost Ryan Tayller somewhere. Here comes also John Coburn-Evans, former MX5 racer, across the line. He finishes 25th overall and 14th in class. And sadly, unless he does come through at the end, we will lose Ryan Taylor on the last lap, as we also lost Proctor, Sims and Window before the race even started. So, magnificent stuff for the Mini 7s, and it's Conor O'Brien takes his first win of the season, followed by Joe Thompson in second place, then Mike Jordan in third, Spencer Wanstall fourth, Glenn Woodbridge fifth, Joe Polly sixth, then Darren Thomas, Graham Davis, and then ninth overall and winner of the S category is Michael Winkworth, 4 out of 4 for him. Then Tina Cooper, an excellent driver, she rounds out the top 10. Then it's Fraser Hack, Matthew Ayres, Damien Harrington, and Matthew Page, second to fifth in the S category. Paul Woodbridge comes next in 15th place, followed by Ben Seafried, then Jonathan Page, Chris Bryant, Ben Butler, and David Rees rounds up the top 20. And then the rest of the order is Lee Pullman, Johnny Kent, Dean Stanton, Jeff Williams, and John Coburn-Evans to round up the 25 finishers. And the 4 cars we lost was on the final lap, Ryan Taylor, Julian Proctor, who stopped on the back straight. And also through that race in the opening laps, we lost Jordan Sims, and before the race even started, Leon Window as well. And Conor Bryan also gets the fastest lap of the race to boot as well. Perfect day's morning's effort. And let's see what Conor and Co thought of that race. They're going to be down in the Parc Fermé area with Richard John Neal.
Yeah, spot on, Scott. Conor does actually look like he's been in a race. You got a win by a long way and fastest lap. Congratulations, Salkers. Oh yes, he didn't know. What happened to pit boarding? Did you not get pit boards?
Yeah, I got one, but it was showing me the gap behind, so I could know whether to let off or not.
Yeah, that was nothing to worry about, was it?
No, I thought I'd do a quick one in the middle. That's when the fastest lap come, but yeah, I got away at the start and just got the hammer down and it worked, luckily. But yeah, happy with that.
You beat Mike Jordan finally.
Yeah, finally beat him, and he's finished third, which I'm not too happy about. Yeah, it's good.
And the car still looks mint, so for next time out, not a lot to do, I guess, as you got the pace.
Yeah, I hope so, because we had to do a lot before this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the engine needs a good check over, but other than that, it's brilliant once we've sorted it out.
Okay, well, congratulations on the win. Good to see you twice on the podium this weekend. Conor O'Brien, our winner. Let's go down and grab second place Joe Thompson having a quick chat at the moment. We'll go in and he's done. Look at that, Adam's done.
Let's go pick up the...
Joe, congratulations.
Thank you.
P2, let's have another little chat with you. I know you want that top...
meeting like this, don't
we do. Next time, make it the top step.
Yeah, we will try, yeah. If you can give us more of that turbo, that boost.
Obviously, Conor was down...
Up a bit, but we'll go a bit more for next time, I think.
Absolutely right. Conor was down the road, so there was nothing you and Mike could do about him, and you ended up squabbling, which probably kept you back from the leader.
Yeah, definitely. That's what gave him the lead to start with. Once you break that toe, he's long gone, and obviously, because there was a group, I think 4 or 5 was at the start that let him get away, and then once he'd got that gap, we broke into our little 3, and then there was no way we were going to catch him after that because he just broke the toe.
What are those early laps like when you're starting from rows 3 and 4?
Interesting, we'll leave it at that.
Brilliant, Joe, congratulations. Great to see you. Double podium this weekend. I'm going to interrupt Mike Jordan's conversation. So sorry to interrupt, Mike. Great to see you on the podium again. And I was just saying to Joe, you know, it's an interesting race, isn't it? You're used to reverse grid racing, but those first few laps are interesting, aren't they?
They are. You've got to, I mean, you know, Conor just made a fantastic start and broke us, didn't he? Of course, you're always going to have a little bit of time battling, but it was great racing with Joe. Really enjoyed it. It was cracking good fun. And then Spencer got back onto us on the last lap, but no, just a great weekend racing. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Some comments on the feed were saying this is spaced out. It wasn't. You guys were all over each other.
No, 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 we were absolutely all over each other and no contact or nothing. You know, it was just really super good racing.
Well, great to see you on double podium, Mike. Congratulations. I think the championship lead intact as well, so that's good. And Michael Winkworth, if we can find him, is Michael here. He's going to be our S-Class winner. Michael Winkworth, I'm going to go and try and find him. Stay with me. Michael Winkworth. Is Michael here? Michael Winkworth? He's not here. We're trying to get the club winners. We've got Fraser Hack was second. Michael might be down here, so just come down here because we've got these class here. Let's have a look and see if we can get Michael. Michael Winkworth! Michael! We got him. Hello, mate. Well done. Congratulations, Michael Winkworth. I think the only unbeaten person in the formula at the moment. Well done.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a good race. I managed to get a much better start than yesterday, which helped for the rest of the race, and just managed to get a gap and break the toe, and then just managed to keep that distance nicely to get the win. So yeah, really happy.
So 4th win in the season. How difficult is it to keep the momentum going?
It is pretty hard. Yeah, it ain't easy. It definitely ain't easy. So yeah, all in all, good weekend. So yeah,
great to see you, Adam. Well done on the
much.
double win. And so we managed to get our S-Class winner and our top 3 overall. Let's hand you back to Scott for a look at the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Super Cup grid, which is up next.